We're an engineering-led company. All of our executives are engineers, and our audience are also, engineers, geeks, people who really love spec. And the reality is that whatever product we announced, the one thing that people would do is look across the entire ecosystem and compare. So we might as well do it ourselves, right? We might as well lead the comparisons.
Don't really do that, though. Yeah.
We're a different company, right? We like to talk about what people are thinking anyways, right? So why not do it a little bit differently and actually do it ourselves and, invite the conversation.
Well, do you think that you have the technology and the design to really go head-to-head with Apple?
Well, we've been working on this particular product. This is Mi Note, which we announced yesterday, for 3 years, right? So this is a product that has, was not designed in response to the iPhone 6 Plus or the Galaxy Note 4 or anything like that. It's a product that's been in the making for some time, right? So we really think that talking about it in great detail, spending every, even like 3-4 minutes talking about the curved glass on the back, is actually well worth doing because we know so much about it. We spent so much time designing it.
Well, yesterday after the launch, I was listening to so many industry players and some critics who were saying, Xiaomi is just a copycat player. You're seeing that they're copying a lot of Apple's strategy and design, and they're saying, well, look, the Xiaomi Note even borrowed the name from Samsung. What would you say to them?
So, first of all, I think that no one would disagree that this is a very unique product. Right? It's a product that doesn't look like anything else that you may be able to buy today. It's a unique product with unique things that have not been done before because we've grown up. We've been able to build an industrial design team, a mechanical hardware engineering team, and so on and so forth, that has had the time to do a lot of independent thinking. And this is the first product in which that independent thinking is. And I'd like to invite everyone to have that conversation with us.
Well, what about, do you get concerned at all, though, that just because there has been a lot of this criticism about copyright and that you are a copycat company, that could affect your overseas plans? We're already seeing a patent infringement case in India affect your sales there.
So patents and trademarks and so on and so forth are things that every company in our industry, right, has to deal with as they grow. And I think we're going through that at an even earlier stage than other companies normally do because we've grown much faster, right? In 4.5 years, we've become one of the leading smartphone manufacturers in the world. So these are growing pains, if you will, and we're obviously very prepared to deal with them ourselves. On the patent front, we've been filing a huge number of patents ourselves, both in China as well as outside of China, which is what you'd want to do, right? To be able to be prepared for that. So we're ready for it.
Okay, great. I think Pauline, one of my colleagues, is going to ask you now a question. Pauline?
Yeah, Hugo. In just under 5 years, Xiaomi has already become the #3 smartphone maker in the world. So the amount of distance you've covered in such a short time is incredible. You've ventured out of China, focusing on India and Indonesia. But when will you be ready to tackle the developed markets in the U.S. and in Europe?
Yeah. So it's a question that we get asked a lot, of course, and I think it's going to take some time. We are purposefully going after markets like India, Indonesia, and next will be Brazil, Mexico, Thailand, Vietnam, because those are markets where our strategy works very, very well. We're building high specification products that can sell at very affordable prices because we're selling them direct, we're selling them online. Because of, GDP per capita, per capita income being much lower in these markets, the value proposition is that much more significant compared to the U.S., for example, where most handset prices are hidden behind, contracts, 18, 24-month contracts. So the value proposition is much more significant in developing markets. Plus, entry markets like the U.S. and Europe requires, just really being grown up and really being ready because these are incredibly competitive markets where, you really have to have your marketing polished up and ready in a way that I think will take us a couple of years to get to.
Gotcha. All right, Hugo, listen, great to talk to you. Appreciate the time. This is Martin. Let me jump in here and ask you sort of a geeky question. Value proposition is what your new product phone is. No one, I think, is going to deny that. But when I took a look at the spec here, I want to get your take. Curved I like that, the screen. Gorilla Glass, I'm not so sure because, I mean, Apple, as you well know, has had serious problems with Gorilla Glass. And, you know, people should be, are thinking or would prefer Sapphire. Did you consider that, or was it more of a cost issue why you did not go down that route?
Yeah, so first of all, the reason why Apple has been having some issues with their glass is because the glass is not protected. If you look at our device, the way we designed it, the edge, the metallic edge is a little bit higher, so it'll protect the glass more, and you'll see that it's going to shatter much less often. You know, secondly, Sapphire, contrary to what a lot of people think, is actually not as shatter resistant as Gorilla Glass 3. It is more scratch resistant, but not as shatter resistant because it's much more rigid. So in addition to being much more expensive, there's actually serious doubts amongst experts as to whether it would actually be a better choice for a large screen, perhaps for a small watch screen, but not for a large screen like a mobile phone.